greatest occasions or circumstances that made me who and what I am today, I would say, was my Presbyterian church and the fact that I grew up in the Great Depression. I became acquainted with the church when my brother, who was in scouting and also in scouting at that particular location, told me that if I went on Easter Sunday, I would get a chocolate Easter egg. Boy, for a kid who never had an Easter basket, or for whom that was not just a common ordeal or a common deal, I thought, I'm going. So that part of my life had the greatest influence, I suppose. And fortunately, there was a library not too far from where we lived, and we were encouraged to read, read, read. So books have been my friends all my life.
Well, I think the best thing is the freedom to do anything you want. You don't have a job to go to, and you can pick and choose things that you want to be involved with, travel, etc. And the worst thing is not having time enough to do it all.
I go along with the first part. No tests, no check rides. Just get up and do what you want to do every day. And the worst, I can't remember. That's it. Yeah, I can't remember anything anymore.
Graduated from high school, that small Presbyterian community college were going to try, were willing to find a way for me to get a college degree in a Presbyterian college. But there was no money in our house for clothing or books for the extras I would need. And my mother said if she had the money, she wouldn't be sending a girl to college, she would be sending one of her sons, because they would be the breadwinners, whereas I would probably be married by 20, and that wouldn't really help me to have had a short college experience. However, it really hurt. My husband said that every time I was in a group with people who talked about going to college, he'd see tears coming in my eyes, and he knew how desperately I wanted to go. So I started not necessarily to get a college degree. I started just to maybe take a course or two for enrichment. But when I started college, I was too afraid to go and even register. And one of my friends said, "Don't worry about it, I'll register you and you'll be in." And that was actually the start of my college. I started with 2 subjects, English and I think it was psychology. And I thought that was interesting, and then I thought, well, I'll find another interesting thing. But I spoke to a counselor, and she said, don't do that. She said, make your college count. She said, go toward a degree, and then you will have an established set of lessons that will help you not only for your enrichment, but also to get your degree. So that's what started me in college. I took 2 classes, got A's, and thought, okay, maybe I can do this.
I think a lot of my strength came from Dottie. After seeing what she went through, and for quite a while, and she never complained. And she always used to talk to me about hope or faith. And I think that's where, after she did pass away into our Father's house, I got a lot of my strength from her. Sometimes before that, some things may have bothered me, but after that, I learned to put up with a lot more.
I always felt that if you had a job and you had a salary, that you were lucky enough to be able to give some of that money to charity, regardless of what it was. There was a time when we really had to send my mother-in-law a monthly check because she wasn't, things had not gone well, and my husband's father had died, and we just decided that she had to have some extra help, and we did that. We did that for many, many years until she came to live with us in her last 5 years. And I raised my children the same way, that they should be, that there was a way to give often when you don't have money. I know when Mother's Day came or my birthday came, I would buy them a pack of seeds and tell them to plant them in the garden. And when the flowers came up, I would say, "See what you have given me for Mother's Day," or whatever it was. I have 4 children. I know that now. I know they're all very generous. I know they're all very charitable, and I like that. I contribute to my church. It's one of the main things I have on my list. And as I say, I'm contributing to some friends who've had a very rough life, and the checks aren't big, but they're helpful to these people who didn't get the breaks that I had through life. I do. I feel it's all, I think if you're lucky enough to have some help, you should give a portion of it away.
Well, I think we've both been very blessed and feel it's important to give back, and it's not just monetary, but it's also in giving your time for many different things. And it's not just church, it's other things that you feel are important, like we give back by volunteering at the USO. That's very important in our life. And time and talent.
For years, we'd go to church at a church on base or someplace, and you just put in whatever's free in your pocket, and you're not vested in the church. But now that we are, and we see the needs of the church and stuff, it's much easier to open the wallet and give, because you're giving to yourself, basically.
Well, the church, Christ our Anchor Church, after Dottie passed, is what inspired me to try to do whatever I could, as much as I could, and as long as I could. And so far, things have been going that way. And like I said before, I hope I can keep that up for a few more years. And I always mention that to our Lord. I always mention, when I pray, I always mention things like that. And because the church has helped me quite a bit. They helped Dottie when I had my problems with the cancer, and they helped me more so when Dottie had her cancer. So I figure now it's my turn to do something for our church.